what a D'Amico player is, and like they're like it's kind of what it means to be an Alabama player, and they're like, well, what is that? It's like if you compliment me, all I can think of is I could still do better, and if you say something bad about me, I'm just gonna use it as motivation.
Now we move on. Houston Texans rookie
The
minicamp
Texans mini camp, bro.
is tying in. I know D'Amico threw out the first pitch for the Astros. You see the hype of the city already. I guess who's impressing you in the rookie minicamp so far?
Well, they really won't let us see shit, but from what I did see, I want to bring to people's attention that William Anderson Jr. That's a big motherfucker. That's a big ass dude. So we did good. That's a big dude. Like he looks like a D'Amico Ryans player.
I saw the picture of him out on there that I think Mark Berman took, and dude's huge. He's freaking huge. I was like, who the hell is that? I was like, 51. Oh, okay. And
I'm still advocating the fact that you changed that god awful number.
Well, he said they gave it to him, and I mean,
which means he don't like it. He wants to get something in the 90s, bro. Do it.
Clowny numbers type shit.
Who sucked that we want? Okay, should he take Mario Williams number 90?
Yes.
Ooh, so he definitely can't have 99. But I feel like any other. See, I think Mario Williams should get to keep his 90 for now.
I don't. Yeah, for like if being 100%, I honestly don't mind Mario Williams. I think he got the shit end of the stick because, but if we're thinking about it honestly, all three of those guys kind of did subpar for what they were planned to do.
But didn't Clowney wear 90? I
think he did.
He tried to take Mario, so I don't want that bad juju. So leave number 90 alone. Okay, who else is in the 90s that could keep a number? Maybe 94, Antoine Smith. So do you think a number 91 through 98 would look cool on a jersey? I don't think so.
No, that kind of looks dumb.
I wish he could get like number 55.
55 would be dope.
Especially because Petrie is number 5.
Yeah. Yeah, 55 would be actually really good. Who's that, Cushion, right?
No, Cushion was 54.
That was Sharp. James Sharp.
Jamie Sharp, yeah. Fuck him. Well, I was a fan of his, but I'm a Will Anderson fan now.
Yeah.
I think he's going to boss hog people, bro. I think he's going to have a good year.
He's happy to be here. He wanted to be here. He has people here already that he knows. And, I mean, that people forget that plays a big part in, like, how a player is going to adapt and move around and everything. He has that structure behind him. His family always – I think his mom wakes up an hour before him and it's always like, hey, have a great day, this and that. Like his family support is around him. And then, like you said, he's a D'Amico player. Like this dude, D'Amico is like, I know what I'm doing with him already. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, I'm hyped. And you can see it in his eyes. Like, he's like, oh, y'all gave me my weapons, bet.
Somebody said something cool earlier about what that means. Like, what a D'Amico player is. And, like, they're like, it's kind of what it means to be an Alabama player. And they're like, well, what is that? It's like, if you compliment me, all I can think of is I could still do better. And if you say something bad about me, I'm just going to use it as motivation.
Yep.
I was like, I like that. I like that a lot.
It's a beautiful thing. I mean, it shows that it's that where you get those players that have skill, but they can elevate from that level of skill into that mental ability to push themselves further. And it's like you always see players that are like, oh, I'm skilled, I'm going to make it. And then they can never elevate to that next level. Whereas when you have both of them as a superstar, that's what elevates you to that next level. And I don't want to say he's a superstar, but I do want to say he looks like he's going to be dominant.
I think CJ could be a superstar. I really feel that way after everybody's saying about him. Like, he came in there and it's like, this is my team. So this is how shit's going to go.
And, man, I saw a few videos of him throwing and stuff. And
he was throwing darts in the rain. And I was like, damn, I love that.
That man got a chip on his shoulder. He looks ready to go. He knows that the team wanted him. They gave him freaking weapons in the O-line. Like,
I didn't like Juice Scruggs said it's already too hot here, and people keep telling him, if you think this is hot, Wait till fucking training camp. You're gonna die.
I was in the comments when it happened. I was like, man, August gonna kill this fool. I was just like, this is nothing, dog. This is beautiful weather. I'll deal with this. It's windy a bit and everything.
Yeah. I was really happy if people didn't know that we also signed a cornerback this weekend.
I know.
Shaquille Griffin. And you know what I thought of when they signed him? I said, their Nick must have been listening to our Nick, because you're like the only person that I talk Texans football with that understands the importance of roster depth.
Yep.
That's exactly what that was to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And because would you rather spend a shit ton of money on the one player like Clowney, like we talked about, or would you just keep filling holes? I'm going to fill the holes.
Keep filling
because
holes.
I was thinking about it and I was like, I can optimistically put 22 players as starters on this team and want to watch Texans football. But we're really like a sprained ankle or a pulled hamstring or a concussion protocol away from fucking losing 5 games in a row. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just keep putting players on the team who can play if you need them to.
Yeah, and it's depth. I mean, we saw that last year when people would go, we had really good games and then Stingley goes down. It's like, what the hell is gonna happen? Or this
now
guy
Shaquille can go play outside the cornerback. Just like if
you got what, Jimmy Ward, Jalen Petrie, Derek Stingley, Steven Nelson, Shaq Griffin, Desmond King, and
Tavares Thomas. You got that Sheffield guy. There's a couple other ones on there, like, but I like it. It's depth. You know what I'm saying? Especially considering because the Texans were not aggressive in free agency or the draft going after linebackers. I have a feeling they're going to play a lot of nickel defense with 2 linebackers and 5 secondary players. I really feel that way. So you need as many secondary players you can get.
Yeah.
I want to see him take that same approach and maybe do it with the offensive line. They bring one more in. It have to be a splash, just in case kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Probably a veteran.
I mean, we already get the shit end of the stick of having one of the worst O-lines in the league for some reason. But it's fine. I just think that we've always said, I think that's people that don't watch Texans.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
They don't really pay attention. They read just that little part of it, and that's fine. I mean, there's a few people, like we've always said, we were feisty last year, and if you thought we were feisty last year with Lovie Smith not knowing what he was doing and Pep Hamilton definitely not knowing what he was doing, I'm ready for some other stuff this year.
I'm ready to see some fucking real football, man. I want to see what Williams is going to do. I have high hopes for Christian Harris because I think he could for real be the leader of the defense. Like, he'll never be the big name, but we'll know. I want to see what Tutu, whatever the fuck we calling him. Tutu. Could you imagine that? Tutu, Harris, and Will Anderson, all Alabama players. Like, damn, love it. Y'all played together too.
Mm-hmm. It's like Philly got Georgia, we got Alabama. We good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just, man, you look at the team and you're going to have all eyes. Oh, CJ's off? I can watch Will. Oh, Will's off? I can watch CJ. And it's so fun because like you said, we haven't seen much. They've been hiding it, which I'm not mad about truly because I get it. They're not letting CJ talk. But this is just rookies. And so when all the vets come in and you see CJ working with Dalton Schultz and with Robert Woods and all these other guys added on top of it, it's going to be – because that's when you start getting the vets like, oh, this guy can play. Oh, this guy's legit. Oh, this guy is that guy. And that's when you start getting those little leaks out on their Twitter and their Instagram and all that stuff. And I kind of like it.
Well, like D'Amico said, I just think D'Amico don't want any distractions to CJ right now.
Yeah.
Well, like what he said earlier was like the smartest shit I ever heard. He said, for CJ to come here and learn our new offense, it's like you having to go learn a new language and then using the language.
Yeah.
Like if I tell your ass to go learn Mandarin and then dump your ass in China, you better know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It makes the most sense. So it's like, let him just make it for a while.
And that's a lot of the rookies. They were saying that they were like, we have to get used to. We were so used to school, football, school, and now there's no school for most of them. It's just football. So they're like, what do I do with my free time? What do I do, to do this? What do I got to set my own schedule up type of thing. And it's like, I mean, it's a part of them taking that next step into being an adult at NFL level. But it's also like you hear the way that these guys talk, and we talked about it when they got drafted. These are all guys that were captains of their teams. They were all JUCO JUCO level players, and they have that mindset like Nick and D'Amico were saying. They have leadership mindsets where they want to elevate themselves and push themselves.
So this is early reporting news of what I did here. I did a little bit looking into it. So a lot of people say that Xavier Hutchins has been out there balling, like giving people work. So then I started reading into this dude, and it's like, all right, let me learn about him. So this dude had the shittiest combine ever. And I think that's why his stock dropped. Because before that, this dude was a 3rd round projection, 4th round projection. Combine came, he shit the bed. And everybody in the Texans scouting was like, nah, this dude is good. He can go. Like he's a playmaker after the catch. So I'm thinking there's a possibility if this dude aggressively goes after a roster spot, he could help this team.
And you got a major chip on his shoulder because
which makes me think, is Houston legitimately about to carry 7 or 8 receivers?
I mean, we always talk about it. Of course, you have Michi, you have Tank Dell,
Robert Woods, Noah Brown, Nico Collins, Hutchins. Who are we missing?
Trying to think of who else on that list is.
Amari Rogers.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. I would rather find out what we have than spend more draft capital to go get a receiver. Because we still got Dalton Schultz. And I think we're going to run the ball a lot anyway.
Yeah, it's weird the hate that the Texans are getting. Like it's kind of just, I don't know, to me it's just very weird. Like everybody still says that we are one of the 2nd worst rosters in the NFL.
Okay.
Behind the Arizona Cardinals.
They definitely have a worse roster than us.
Yes, they're saying Tampa Bay has a better one than us. Colts have a better one than us, and the Rams have a better one than us.
I just, like, not to disrespect anybody, but I've said this to Caleb about 1,000,000 times. Just because you know a motherfucker's name don't make him good. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because they got the Mike Evans and shit over there, it's like, who's going to give him the ball? Baker? Who can do?
Exactly.
Or not. We have a just as good chance. We play them. Let's see what's up. We're going to beat you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, Cooper Kupp, are you fully healthy yet? Oh, okay. Matthew Stafford is the Little Caesars Matthew Stafford showing up because that guy was terrible.
I get it. Big media has to say shit like that because they need content. But if you're like a Texans supporter or something, it's okay to say we are fucking better than the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that way.
And that was how I felt too. We've talked about it where it's like we actually, the only ones that I put above us is Jacksonville at this point.
Yeah.
And I listened to like national media, which I try not to, but they're like, it didn't make any sense. They're like, oh, the Texans have CJ, so they're going to struggle because it's a new quarterback and a new system. And I was like, oh, I can see your point. And then they got to the Colts, and they're like, Anthony Richardson, they're praising him like he's Jalen Hurts, so I think he's going to do really well. And I'm like, he's in the same situation. What are you talking about? And then they got to Will Levis and said, this dude's going to shine in this. I was like, I turned the damn TV. I was like,
it pisses me off even more when we be like watching other people's YouTube shit. And it's like, I'll support your content because you're showing our team's love. And then they was like, this is going to be a hot take to everybody that Houston is better than Jacksonville and the Colts. It's like, you don't have to be apologetic for saying that we're better than them. Like, that's what the point of fucking doing the video. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Fuck those teams. You have to prove yourself to me just as much as I have to prove myself to you. So let's go to work, son.
Everybody last year had Denver Broncos as a Super Bowl contender. It's like, let's pump the brakes on some of these teams. And it's
when
like,
we play teams like the Ravens and those guys, yes, you show them respect. They've earned it. Those teams are legit contenders. Yeah. I'm not going to Indianapolis thinking that I'm about to get that. I'm going to get beat. You know what I'm saying? I think I have a fair chance of winning that every time.
Yeah. Like we talked about in our last video, Ravens, Bengals. There's the Steelers. I'll put them up there as a tougher team, a more established team. I mean, there's teams out there where I'm like, this is going to be a tough one. All right, let's see what we do. But if I'm playing like the Cardinals, bro, or if I'm playing the tight ends, I'm playing like the Colts. I mean, even Jacksonville. As a Texans fan, I feel Jacksonville is like our like little stepbrother type thing. Like, it's just, it's like, bro, I
bet you we go 1-1 with them.
I honestly think we will, honestly. And people are gonna be mad as hell about that, but oh well.
It'd probably be it'd be the second one because by then ETN will be hurt, their O-line will be shit.
Oh man.
How much I'm working for this? I swear my dreams are too important.